No 9/11 tribute for you. Millennials don't even know what a stamp looks like. Using them is an outdated practice like rubbers or hitting on girls at bars without swiping them over to their spot at the cider bar in the East Village. First, by now, most boomers do online banking. Plus, I haven't gotten a birthday card on time from my parents since '86, but I'm supposed to believe mail-in votes will arrive on time and spread like wildfire, like a viral video of America's frontline doctors claiming how their use of hydrochloroxine on patients has saved more patients from COVID-related deaths than any faulty mask made in China ever could. You still don't believe the coronavirus isn't being exploited for nefarious ploy purposes, then why else would the mayor of New York City play an unspoken role in canceling the annual 9/11 tribute this year, which he blew up last over alleged coronavirus concerns? Because I'm positive first responders who ran to the second tower are shaking in their boots at the prospect of catching an itchy esophagus from COVID. Can't the guardian angels hang de Blasio from the Freedom Tower in the name of true social riding street justice already? It would be the only time the NYPD wouldn't turn their back on his honor because they'd be too busy taking pictures for their premature retirement parties from the force. School's out forever! Back to school is an oxymoron now. At Staples, the cashier asked me, would you be interested in a Staples reward card for back to school discounts? I said, 2 days a week out of the house doesn't feel like back to school to me when your kids are going to be spending more time in bathrooms at home than Rodney ever did backstage at Dangerfields. Can I get a holla for the king of the one-liners? Rodney lives. Holla! Thank you very much. Don't worry, honey. I didn't say a thing. You're perfect. Explaining transgender again. Transgender labels are very confusing. I keep it simple and tell my kids, transgender is gay in girls' clothes. Daughter asks, does that mean Shakespeare was transgender? Because he always dressed like girls in his plays? I say, I don't know if Shakespeare was transgender, but I know Kevin Spacey is gay about lunging at Othello in tights. Beyonce is king. You better recognize. Do you remember Beyonce singing out the national anthem during the Super Bowl before J-Lo put her kids in fake news cages and banged a stripper pole in front of 100 million worldwide, hoping Ben Affleck would drunk doll her again? At the same time, the Queen of England was watching the Super Bowl on the telly at Buckingham Palace 2 stiff gin and tonics later, and the Queen of England says to a royal bartender, and I thought Meghan Markle was a royal pain in the ass. A Boston ref calls traveling on LeBron. LeBron James never gets called for traveling because the NBA has become a safe space for LeBron James' ego. Also, the NBA never calls traveling on LeBron because no ref wants to be accused of racial profiling. Imagine LeBron James finally getting called for traveling in the NBA Finals against the Celtics with no fans in attendance or anyone at home watching for that matter. After LeBron freaks out, the ref from Southie snaps back at the king of the persecution complex and yells, "Go walk yourself, king! Larry Bird played with a broken back and still beat Magic's Lakers in the NBA Finals. Drama Queen Diaries. Can I get a holla for an A-plus dumb job on LeBron?" But it doesn't give me any sustainable joy knowing that the man is like single-handedly responsible for ruining any cool, badass, scrappy, patriotic allure that the NBA used to offer. Sorry. Holla! Essential baby boomer abortions. The Archbishop of New York, Dolan, just said, love Dolan. Pray we must. He's the best. The Archbishop of New York, Cardinal Dolan, just said, the left wing is snotty over my dealings with Trump. Off the record, The Archbishop tells a reporter at Breitbart, I never believed in essential abortions for baby boomers until Trump because I never believed in essential abortions for baby boomers until Trump because I'll try this one last time. I never believed in essential abortions for baby boomers until Trump became president because baby boomer arrogance never dies. Hillary Hammertime Cankles must have deleted that memo too. Holla! Thank you very much! Actually giving a shit about Jay Cutler. Fuck Jay Cutler's wife for divorcing him because he just wants to hang out with his 3 kids in their Tennessee farm and enjoy the fruits of his labor. The man was freezing his balls off in Chicago forever, getting his head bashed in while the NFL settled out of court and cut Colin Kaepernick the largest unemployment check ever recorded. But your husband is no longer motivated enough for you because he doesn't want to do broadcasting for the NFL and do his best sad sack Troy Aikman impersonation? Cut Cutler some slack, you user-minded bitch. Has been hack attack. Weird week Howard Stern said, Trump supporters should take disinfectant and drop dead. Even if they did, Howard, it won't erase the fact you divorced your wife for a 6.2 by ghoulish tranny standards, and that's being generous. But whatever it takes to ensure you still get invited to Jimmy Kimmel's place for more 2-bite chicken parm dinners. And Howard, enough with your jealous and shrouded, beyond played out spiel about how Trump doesn't even want to be president. It's not Trump's fault. You're not the king of social media anymore. Not that you ever were in the first place or even tried to begin with. But good job turning the cold shoulder, resulting in Artie Lang's nose turning to a piece of folded capicola. Also, side note, if you're tired of watching everything on Netflix, watch Beer League. It's a legendary comedy film, and it killed me when I found out that Artie Lang tried to kill himself, knowing that he wrote that and dedicated it to his father, who got paralyzed while trying to fix cable wire because he was like a cable guy. But I digress. So fuck you, Weird Week Howard. Return the cold shoulder to Artie Lang, especially, which ultimately led to his nose turning into a folded piece of fucking capicola. Also, Weird Week Howard, I thought all of your psychoanalysis made you less of an easily jealous, ego-divorced, uppity bitch who in retrospect only made fun of the death of Peter Criss from Kiss because you only cared about shocking the world into good ratings to beat Marble-Mouthed Imus. Weird Week Howard, you were so much cooler when you were more transparent about the egotistical asshole you were and always will be. Making fun of Billy Crystal and the Golden Jew Adam Sandler because they were guilty of being way funnier, smarter, talented, and infinitely punchier than you'll ever be. Regardless if Jockey the Joke Man or the Red Bob Levy were getting paid a pittance to force feed you bit ideas to give up the impression you're edgier, funnier than you are in real life, permhead. Trump doesn't even want to be president? Yeah. And you don't want to be embraced by middle America and be loved the way he is, despite your blatant attempt to reach that plateau during your cute rebranding, edgeless little stint on America's Got Talent jerk-off. Jim Norton and Dice on Opie and Anthony were always more hardcore funny than your lusty lesbo inquiries of yesteryear ever were in your wildest dreams. A stolen suicide note is better than none. Robin Williams spent a career stealing bets, taking them higher, and paying those comics he stole from in the first place as a form of last-minute compensation to assuage their frowning souls for making their material shine way brighter than they ever could, regardless if they killed at the Comedy Cellar after Louis Anderson that night or not. So, is it too much to expect Robin Williams, as self-centered as comedians are, to leave his daughter a suicide note to explain why her love wasn't enough to keep him hanging on? Losing your memory is super scary. Yet for a man of his high intelligence and developed emotional empathy, for being born an only child, left to play army figures all by himself forever, who also played Peter fucking Pan for a living for $20 million as a form of karma, payback, reparation. Couldn't have Robin Williams willed away to summon some old-time improv magic after making the decision to kill himself and then say out loud to himself, yes, killing myself is the only way out of this crippling despair. But first remember to love your daughter enough to write her a fucking suicide note, stolen from a Kurt Cobain lyric or Nirvana Unplugged or not. Make her a YouTube video, dressing up like Miss Doubtfire, singing Jesus doesn't want me for a sunbeam, anything. I know towards the end Robin Williams struggled to remember his lines as Teddy Roosevelt on the set of Night at the Museum, such as, why doesn't anybody charge DMX of cultural appropriation for thugging up the Rough Riders brand for all it was worth? I get it. For an extended period of time, Robin Williams was used to being the funniest man alive who never suffered from speechless, dull man's disease. I just feel bad for his daughter Zelda, who has to take a break from social media on the anniversary of her father's suicide every year because she's emotionally drained from all the effusive fan mail she received in her dead dad's honor, describing all the wonderful memories her father gave millions of strangers as she strains to conjure many loving memories left without her punctured heart thinking, I'm glad my dad made your life so much happier than your own dad did, but here's a concept. Ease up on sucking off the spirit of my dead dad during the anniversary of his death every year, knowing Patch Adams would have provided me with some modicum of closure if he didn't make it all about him again and left me a suicide note that said 13 reasons I don't want to leave this world yet, regardless if I'm not the shining comedy star I used to be or not. Zelda, 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 Zelda.